origin store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watching tropical flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threats on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film threat, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film threat.
Welcome, everyone. Today it's Wednesday. I'm Chris Gore, and today is
the day we talk about Ironheart. And we've got a few news items as well. Wherever Chris went, we're gonna.
Where did I go? What it is?
I don't know what you're
technical
doing.
Problems. I don't know what I did either. Oh my God, we're late and iconic.
I know. I'm like, did my internet just freeze up?
Wait, it's not Wednesday. What am I?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
But it's a very special Tuesday. Because we have been holding on to a secret for well over a week.
Yeah, let me turn down the music so we can actually. Oh my God, I'm boomering the whole show. It's because Gary's in the chat. That's why.
No, you got to turn off the music and not restart.
I'll turn off the music. All right. Happy Tuesday, folks. Apologies for the technical errors here. It's my brain. My brain is the thing that's wrong. So let's just start the show. And just like that, he's gone.
I have a particular set of skills that can help me find Alan for you. Oh, and don't forget to go out and watch me in the remake of the very funny Naked Gun. Now back to Alan. Alan.
This was supposed to be an episode of Film Threat After Dark. I don't know how we screwed this up. We're back. What are we
after
doing?
dark?
You know we're doing
24 hours early.
We're stalling. We're stalling because we lot of news stories to go over, and then we will have two special guests joining us to talk Ironheart. So get ready for that, and we will discuss all episodes of Ironheart. That's right. They are between 40 minutes and 57 minutes. The episodes are longer. There are only 6. 3 are dropping today, and 3 will drop a week from today, and then it's over. It will not be dragged out like Acolyte, and we will not drag it out like we might have done with Acolyte, right, Alan?
Yeah, Acolyte was a gift. There was reasons we could drag that one out for 6 episodes,
look,
not this one.
We will be fair. And, I go into everything with like clean slate. Let's judge it on its own merits.
Yeah, we hate everything.
Well, I don't know why you would say that. But, before we get things
look, I will say, I've spoiled this already on X, but F1 will be greater than F4.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
We have both seen F1. And
F1's great. We'll talk about that on, and I feel sorry for the people that got suckered in to seeing Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Refund. That's what they're calling it, Jurassic World Refund, because everyone that saw it wanted a refund. It's bad, apparently. But before we get started, hey, it's going to be July soon, which I declare to be American Pride Month. We have a special collection. We also have some rainbow Film Threat shirts here. But grab yourself. Look at this. We found the perfect model from the Film Threat staff to model our Film Threat hat. You can get it in red, navy, black, and the blue hair not included. But go to shop.filmthreat.com. Get yourself a Film Threat hat in the American flag style. Free to be indie. And go to shop.filmthreat.com. A limited time. These things are going away. Here, beam me up. Look, we got the rainbow shirt from Star Trek the Motion Picture, inspired by Star Trek the Motion Picture. So there you go. But Alan, I'm really disappointed about something. And this relates to a news story we'll do at the top of the show. I am disappointed. The Rey movie looks like it's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen. And I have, you will not believe this, kept in my shelf for a long time a box of, here it is, it's Star Wars Rey cereal. I have kept this box for years. It currently has cornflakes. I ate the original, but this I've kept for years. And unless they make the Rey movie, this is worth nothing. Nothing, I tell you. I've also got, look at this, the upcoming Superman. I've got Man of Steel. This came out when BVS came out, Batman v Superman. Superman cereal. I've got, look at this. This is a Batman, Ben Affleck Batman cereal box. And I was at the store recently. What did I find? PT Crunch with the Pedro Pascal Mr. Fantastic right here. And there is no prize inside, by the way, which might be a blessing in disguise. You get a decoder, and it says buy Ovaltine, I think, pretty much.
What?
Probably what it says is buy Ovaltine.
The decoder is on the box, or it's in, you said there's no prize, so there's no decoder
a
in the
decoder on the box to decode something. But there is a new trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps that is debuting tomorrow. Let's take a look at the teaser for the trailer.
God.
Because that's what we do nowadays, right? There's
Oh
a new
God.
trailer. Now, will this trailer tell us what the story is? Will this trailer give us some insight into the character dynamics? I'm not sure. Will we see another shot where Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards stretches? As of now, we have only seen one shot where he stretches. And I'm told, a little inside info, he doesn't stretch all that much in the movie. Why? Because his real power is his mind, his brain. And I'm also told part of the reason he didn't do a lot of stretching in the film is because it looked too goofy. So he doesn't, in fact, all the characters don't really use their powers that much in the Fantastic Four movie. This gets worse and worse. I'm not sure what will convince me, but let's take a look at this 22-second teaser. Ready, Alan?
Yes.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
T-minus 4. Thank you, Fantastic Four! The four of us will face the danger. Hold on!
We'll face it as a family.
I don't know, man. The thing saying hold on, it doesn't sound like something, it doesn't even look like that's how he'd sound. I don't know. They're just using the actor's voice with no change.
Yeah.
Not deepen it or somehow make it more, thingy, more Ben Grimm. I mean, Ben Grimm, even in the cartoons, Ben Grimm, I'm Ben Grimm. It's clobbering time. Yet that actor can't make that voice. I feel like Marvel put all this effort into what the movie would look like and the style of it. And they had a significant amount of time to work on the designs, but they didn't work on the story and characterizations. I don't know. What are your thoughts upon seeing that?
Yeah, I think Reed's powers is to stretch his hand out so he can touch Sue whenever he gets nervous.
Well, I'd probably use that power.
Yeah. And then let's just say that Brad Pitt drives a car real fast in F1, and it's super awesome.
Yeah, well, that movie, I can't wait.
I can't. I can't wait for you to see F1.
Here's another teaser. I don't know where this came from, but here's another teaser about the FF that I don't know where this is. I honestly don't know where this is from, but let's look at this.
I was a kid reading these comics, so the chance to help bring them to life was too hard to pass up.
And now, for the first time ever at Marvel Studios, we can make a Fantastic Four movie.
We're going to build this retro future world. Build real sets, real locations. Reed's lab and Baxter building, this incredible Times Square backlot set. We can build practical suits.
We are your family. Just seeing the four of them together is going to be worth the price of admission.
I don't know where this is from. No clue what it could be. I don't know, Alan. What do you think?
Wow. I just hate being accused of hating everything, and then they keep putting stuff out.
Well, yeah. It's
but I think you're right. I think you're right that they're more into the look of the Fantastic Four than they are about the actual Fantastic Four.
Right.
They're spending a lot of time on production value.
Yes.
On sets, on 66, on a TV that has no practical utility to it.
Have you seen the sheer amount of tie-ins? This is the most promotional tie-ins I think ever for a Marvel movie. We got Little Caesars Pizza, General Mills cereal, Pop-Tarts, AMC Theaters, Coke, various flavors of Coke. I didn't know about this. Snapple.
Oh.
Kroger, Walmart, Fantastic Berry Milk, AMC Theaters tin popcorn buckets, Cinemark popcorn buckets, Regal, AMC Theaters, Alamo Draft House. Those are pint glasses. I can't look at these on the screen. Can't even see them all. It's nuts. So I don't know, man. We'll see this new trailer. Not sure it'll convince me.
Yeah. No, we love everything. We love everything.
Speaking of loving things, Pedro Pascal, bullies make me effing sick. I don't know if you have the notes for this story, but I'm going to bring it up because it has a nice big picture of Pedro Pascal. And here he's stretching his hands over his face. This is from Vanity Fair.
Yeah, I got
Alan, what does he say in this article?
Well, Pedro Pascal, known for his outspoken progressive values, recently drew attention for publicly criticizing J.K. Rowling on Instagram. In response to Rowling's celebration of a UK Supreme Court ruling that limits the legal definition of a woman to biological sex, Pascal called her reaction heinous loser behavior, defending his trans sister Lux. Reflecting on the controversy, Pascal admitted feeling a brief wave of anxiety from the backlash, comparing it to being that kid who got sent to the principal's office. But his main concern was whether he was genuinely helping the trans community, saying, "Bullies make me fucking sick." He emphasized his desire to protect loved ones and push for real change. Pascal also addressed criticism over his casting as Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic in Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four reboot. Despite the excitement from fans, he acknowledges backlash over his age and appearance. I'm more aware of disgruntlement around my casting than anything I've ever done. He's so old. He's not right. He needs a shave. Pascal hasn't seen the finished film yet, but he says he's hopeful, explaining that it reflects the team's shared goal of pouring all our fucking hearts together on a platter within the genre. A minor social media flare-up came about in a viral Comic-Con moment, which Pascal held co-star Kirby's hand. Critics misrepresented the gesture, but Kirby clarified that they were both nervous for stepping out on stage and they held hands in support, a mutual act. He wanted me to know that we were in this together, and I found it a lovely gesture.
Well, look, Pedro Pascal is an actor. He will be whatever Hollywood needs him to be. I just think he wasn't the first choice. He wasn't like the third choice for Reed Richards. I feel like he was the safe choice and the choice that everyone could settle on. And nothing I've seen has impressed me thus far. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. They casted people who were the thing at the time. So you got the guy from The Bear. I forget, was Johnny from Stranger Things or something?
Yeah.
I think Vanessa Kirby is probably the only choice that people that seemed to make sense. And again, I keep saying again, but Marvel continues to not learn from its mistakes or its successes, and they'll just continue to go on the path. Look, ultimately, we don't know anything about the movie until we see it till we see the final product. But God damn it, why can't they just put something good out, something to make us excited?
Well,
and then we don't have to crap on it constantly.
They're not hiring movie directors. They're hiring TV and streaming directors. And in the world of TV, producers are the one that have the most control, not directors. And early in Marvel's beginnings, they had Jon Favreau, came from indie film. He's got a filmmaker who has a voice. They hired James Gunn, really untried when it came to a big studio movie. He'd made some larger films as a screenwriter and some big indie movies, but not a big studio movie, but a talent for sure. And Kenneth
Branagh did Thor, right? And Shane Black came in for Iron Man 3.
I feel like what they're doing now is looking for filmmakers that will take direction, follow orders, and that they can control. And I don't think that results in the best art. So
because directing is easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
We got more how about some Ironheart news? We're gonna get to our review of Ironheart, and I have a video dropping today at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It is it's a document of my binge night where from 5 p.m. till 1 in the morning, I watched every episode of Ironheart. And you will see how I suffered because it's your turn. But let's take a look at the Ironheart suit. They've been dropping a lot of little teaser videos out here. And let's take a look at this. We want to see the Ironheart suit. What goes into it? Here we go, Alan.
We start with the artwork from the biz dev department of Marvel and then produce a 3D model.
I loved how layered it was. Like you'll see pieces of bus parts or car parts, all the things that she has to put together to make this thing undeniable.
It definitely represents a resourcefulness that I think makes Riri incredible.
So iconic.
Well, what'd you think, Alan?
Oh, wow. That was incredible. I love how you could tell that one apart from all the other suits.
Look, we're going to talk about it later. We will discuss Ironheart, the series, all of the series. But, I just feel like, here's the thing. I really feel bad for this actress. In a way, it reminds me of the situation with Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
where
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey was she was fine. She didn't go after fans, and she did a good job in the job she had. Obviously could sing. She's got kind of a Disney princess look. It shouldn't have been Ariel. They should have had an original character with an original story, but that's the way it is. And the actress who plays Ironheart, what's her name? Dominique
Thorne. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I can tell you, I think she's fine. She was not given a lot to work with, and the character, it's not a well-written character. It just isn't, for really specific reasons we'll get into.
Yeah, but you got to admit that suit was undeniable.
What if I deny it?
Iconic. It was
What
iconic.
if I deny it? Hey, there are more. There's more
Really?
Ironheart. I don't know. Is Ironheart
Just
with
keep
a
it coming.
capital? I don't know if it's with a capital H. I think it's not. If you look,
No,
it
it's not. It's one word, capital I.
All right, I'm gonna correct that, and I gotta correct it in all of these now.
But that error was iconic. It's undeniable. Here's,
You know,
I can say
it
here's-
was undeniable. Did I make that mistake?
you know, it's like,
I don't care.
here's the thing, because I ran into it just talking about it. But you know, whenever I would read Marvel comics, it was like, well, is it two words or is it with the dash in the middle?
Spider
like
dash
Spider-
man.
Exactly.
Spider dash man. Yeah.
Iron Spaceman.
Right. You got to get that right, just like an ampersand.
Yeah. But here's Ironheart, one word.
But Ironheart, there's another promo that appeared on X that really like features. I don't know if this is the right one right here. But let's take a look at this. Well, no, that's something else. That's some of the reviews, but I do have another promo that appeared on X that I think is worth seeing. You're gonna want to check this out, Alan. As soon as I find it, it's
I can't wait.
It's, you know what? Let's just do this.
It'll
Let's
be
take a
iconic.
look at this. This is, I have 700 tabs open right now. I have 700 tabs. But Iron Space Man celebrates Ironheart, lowercase h, day with a little video that was posted on X. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Let's watch. Let's go. Here we go.
What?
Good morning.
Guess why I'm calling? It's June 24th, which is
It's Dad's birthday. Happy
my
birthday.
dad's birthday. Thanks for your considerate. Also, God, you've been doing too much press. Ironheart premieres today. It's all been leading to this. Isn't that exciting?
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for the call.
17 years from the birth of the MCU
Oh
to
my
the
God.
premiere of Ironheart, and we're in this love together.
Man.
So psyched.
Man.
I've
I
grown so fond of you. It's bananas.
thank you.
Congratulations. I'll be watching it with the world, and we'll keep each other posted, yeah?
Oh my God, okay, yes, we will.
All right, let's go.
Robert Downey Jr. is a very good actor. That's all I have to say about
Well, he could act really good in the past. Today, not so much.
I think he's a really good actor. I don't know what you're saying,
I
Alan.
know. Well, I think you're saying, I'm saying, yeah, that reeked of authenticity. Reeked.
Nothing fake about
Reeked.
it.
No, I hate using the word cringe. That's what it was. It's staged. Oh God, I just couldn't they just make a normal phone call?
It's Ironheart Day. And guess what? That means there's another promo on Disney Plus for Ironheart. And you need to see this one, Alan, because Slug is going to be your favorite character.
That's not Slug, that's Jerry.
That's right. But Slug, I don't think
Oh, okay.
Slug's in this one. We'll get to
Okay.
Slug. Let's take a look at this promo for Ironheart.
Your dream is to be able to do this stuff, you know, knock some big guys out and like walk away and be like,
I love that we have Zoe Charakis and Shea Coulee in powerful positions.
I flipped a guy.
Yeah. And punched him.
And I punched him.
It's really mind-blowing to come into my first scripted series and have it be in the MCU. After starting on a Marvel show, like, where do I go from here?
Slug coming to Disney Plus.
Happy Pride, Chris.
What do you, so you've seen the whole show.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into it now, but what do you think?
From what I just saw there, I mean, what can you say? I mean, you had Jerry there. Jerry, the tough, the heavy, the enforcer, dude. Yeah, you know, I'm just not buying. Again, it's all about authenticity, not buying the authenticity. And got very few lines. Let's also put it that way. Slug, I don't know how Slug is able. Slug is the computer expert, the hacker.
Well, yeah,
and has great nails.
There is something that happens to Slug near the end of the series where I think they wanted you to be concerned, and all I could do is burst out laughing. I nearly spit out my drink when I was watching this scene. You'll know it if you even get that far. So we'll discuss it.
Look, it's brave and beautiful. Thank you, Marvel.
Before we get to reviews of Ironheart, let's look at comments.
All right, from Ariane for 200. 3 questions for Chris. Why is right wing so ignorant about nerd culture? You're an expert on that. Why do us right wingers keep on fighting with each other unnecessarily? Well, meanwhile, the left is all teamed up. And is World War III happening? Chris, you are. I guess you're right wing now. So
no, don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. I do think that in the current climate, I lean conservative, but I really take things issue by issue. World War III happening? No, I don't think that's happening. One, I don't know. I feel like whenever I see the right and left kind of fight over this stuff, or the right fight itself, I think it's kind of ridiculous. I think, more than anything, I try to stay in my lane. I don't like to talk politics all that often, even though I get dragged into it. But I don't know. I think people that are conservative in the past have been in Hollywood. I mean, Clint Eastwood, among others. There are still people here. It's usually people who remain quiet. So I just think to make it shameful and to be politically bigoted is a mistake. I first learned that term from Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic. I heard the term political bigotry, and it's like, oh, wow. And then as soon as I heard that, I noticed that. I had, when I was working at G4, one of the best producers there was Christian, married, had kids, and he, but he would write these outrageous sketches. He was the most talented producer in my mind. I won't say who it was. And I remember people coming up to me and criticizing him for being Christian. And I'm like, why? Why are you like, okay, well, I don't agree with him on everything, but it was very weird that like you would dislike a person based on that. I have not been that way. So I don't know. We live in a very weird time.
Yeah.
I basically talked a lot and did not answer anything. How'd I do? I feel like a politician now.
Well, let me answer. But since doing the live stream here with you, 3.5 years ago?
Yeah.
I think the majority of my new friends that I've found on YouTube here, they're all former Democrats. They're all former liberals. Yeah. And I think it says a lot to say that. It's not that, right wingers are coming in and taking over culture. I think it's the fact that the left is kicking out anyone who doesn't walk lockstep with them. Look at J.K. Rowling. Her take on trans is the only issue that got her kicked out, basically, of the progressive movement. And that's essentially what's happening here. It's not that the right wingers are taking over. It's the left is kicking people out for the littlest thing because they're not in lockstep 100%.
Yeah, it's weird. If you vary 1 degree in a different direction, I do think I notice more of a divide between people who have children and people who do not. Because I had children at a young age. I was in my early 20s. I had 2 kids like back to back and got married. So you see the world differently. You're more invested in the future. You care more about society having order, and you care about things like education. That's different than people that don't have kids, that don't care about anyone other than themselves. I think that's where a big divide is. Forget about right, left wing. If you have kids or don't have kids, you see the world differently if you have children.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Arian.
Arian. Arian.
Arian?
No, Arian.
Andrew Cram
You gotta pronounce that right.
Arian?
Arian.
Aryan. Okay,
No,
whatever.
Arian is something different.
All right. Andrew Cram gifted 50 Film Threat memberships. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. That is hugely generous. Andy makes Star Wars live on a Tuesday. 2 for £2. Wait, why am I reading these? That's your job.
That's my job. You're helping me out by doing it. Leo
Sure.
Cody for 2. The real stretch is Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Thank you, Leo. Appreciate you. He does our little AI videos and memes. Love it. Leo is wildly talented.
Rudy for 2. How many fight scenes do you think there are?
In FF?
How many cartoon fight scenes are there in FF?
FF, or probably not that many. From what the more I hear, the more I'm not excited.
Yeah. Yeah, my guess it's not as many as Superman.
Yep.
Will Yum, member for 11 months. Chris Gore, what is your review of the Little Caesars Fantastic Four pizza?
It is very good for the price. It was $8.
Yeah, $8.
I mean, you can be in like someplace $8 for a slice, but you get 4 quadrant pizza, 4 different types. I don't know why they didn't innovate this before. Forget the Fantastic Four aspect. There are 4 types. You can get, pineapple, or it's like 4 different kinds. And that is, I think I love it. I'm going to get more.
There's a reason that if you go to a party in Southern California, they'll serve Little Caesars.
I hope the movie is as good as the pizza. But I like the pizza, honestly.
It's okay. It's okay. For the price, definitely. Aryan for 40. Secret Wars ending greater than Riri Snap saying, I am Ironheart.
There you go.
Bish, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Arian. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Aryan?
Aryan.
Let us know in the chat.
They're 2 different.
What?
Aryan is a whole different thing.
But it's spelled the same.
No,
Am I
it's not.
wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. Okay. That's all right. It comes with privilege. Patrick Lemire, Ironheart versus Acolyte cage match.
I think we're not going to be talking about Ironheart for as long as we talked about Acolyte. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, the poll has come through, and we're doing a show tomorrow.
Okay, we will do a show tomorrow. I'm not sure if the nooner is happening, but I guess I'm doing a show.
But
it might be a shorter show.
Tomorrow will probably be the last time we talk about Ironheart.
Well, we're going to talk about it on Monday on Versus.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, Versus. Yeah. Versus, baby. It's going to be all hands on deck for Ironheart on Versus. We've got some special guests that will be joining us, and they're not here. I'm going to see if I'm going to invite them. Stall for a minute, Alan.
All right.
Check the chat.
Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Bill Espresson Esquire. Is it possible for Chris and Alan to spoil that which Disney presented rotten? Oh, okay. Now I see it. And then from Nerdrotic, damn, this show is so late. Yeah. Yeah. Believe me, it wasn't my fault. Charles Bojangles, the Batman calzone pizza was the best promo pizza from Little Caesars.
Yes, I had that Batman calzone. I loved it.
Not a big fan of calzone. I just like pizza. Okay, here we go. John Snowden, Ironheart's arch villain nemesis should be another black female tech genius in stolen armor, but instead we got Sacha Baron Cohen. Let's see. Vash the Stampede, Chris Gore, owned by Big Pizza, confirmed. Yes, Chris is a corporate pizza stooge. He's a shill because.
What can I say? I like pizza.
I know, but look, I was going to do that Fantastic Four thing when I saw Ironheart, but then I realized I have a better pizza store just down the road from Little Caesars, and I went there instead. Let's see. Barrel Titor. Ya, si comió el calzón de barman. Huh? Let's next one here. Texifier, Little Caesar, pretzel crust pizza with the nacho cheese is their best pizza. What?
I've never heard of that. I cannot wait.
I know they had the pretzel crust. I just didn't think that why would you put nacho cheese on your pizza? I can't. That doesn't compute. All right, next one. Let's see. Here we go. Negerus Snape, aka 12 Years of Snape, is Ironheart.
Wait, Alan, can you pronounce the chat's question?
Yeah, it's Negerus Snape, aka 12 Years of Snape. Yeah,
gotcha.
It's all in the delivery. Is Ironheart's villain revealed as literal racism? We'll talk about it, but that's not what I'm referring to. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, because it's okay. Next one.
We're stalling.
We are stalling.
We're stalling because it will be 6 o'clock on the East Coast in 15 minutes.
Isn't it 9 o'clock East Coast that I believe that's when it's
No, I think it's 6 p.m.
Okay. Ololiukui, Black Snape Moan was the only tip of the iceberg. I believe that's part of the chat. Let's see. Tony, Youthful Eagle, Ilias. Alan pronounced it perfectly. Let's see. Wow, we are really stalling, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all good, man.
All right, here we go. Thank you, chat. See, I missed the thing. Patrick Lemire, Little Caesars menu is designed by stoners. You could say that. Let's see, Salvatore, is she finding the KKK? Not quite. You'd be surprised about the whole racism thing. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, that's good.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
So no, we're getting set up. I am stalling for time. Here's what we can do. We can do a couple things here.
Yes.
X loves Ironheart. Do you realize there are reviews that are hitting right now? These are social reactions, and I am happy to report, Alan, they are wildly positive.
Yes, imagine that.
They are wildly positive. Let's take a look at them. I think this will help gear us up. How about reading some of these? I'll put these up
let's
so
do
you
that.
can read them. Look at this from, well, this person is on Blue Sky, I think.
Well, they're on both. I wish I could read that. That is way too small.
Oh, okay. I'll blow it up for you.
Yes, please. There we
you go. Yeah.
All right. Ironheart is a superhero epic rooted in black genius and emotional truth, Dominic Thor shines as Riri Williams, a brilliant teen inventor navigating grief, anxiety, and growing up. This show earns every moment it's given, to be sure to watch from start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Let's
one wants
take
you
a
to
look.
watch every minute.
Look, take a look at this one. Here's another tweet from POC Culture.
From Pop Culture, hashtag Ironheart is a sincere look at what the life of a teen genius superhero would be like. It's fun and exciting. It's also hard and heavy. Dominique Thorne is a true star, the perfect Riri Williams. This show is massive, has massive implications for the future of the MCU. Massive.
There we go. There's a massive. Look at that.
I mean, we are just digging for things that aren't there.
I mean, look, I think it's if these are positive reactions. I assume they're all authentic and real.
Yeah, because they saw the same thing we saw.
Here's another one. Here's another from Brandon Pope TV.
Brandon Pope TV. Ironheart is not Iron Man 4, and that's a good thing. Doesn't lean too heavily into Stark, letting Riri Williams shine. There's depth with themes of trauma and overcoming grief. The dynamic between Riri and Natalie is the glue. Bring MCU reveal in the back half. I almost said that wrong. A very Chicago show.
It says big MCU reveal.
Big MCU reveal in the back half.
Can confirmed. Here's another one from Aaron Eclairial Direct. Aaron Chino.
Ironheart delivers an insanely fun story that perfectly blends tech and magic. Dominic Thorne is a force to be reckoned with as Riri Williams, and Anthony Ramos is haunting as the Hood. It's filled with fun Easter eggs and crazy specials, surprises that will change the MCU forever.
By the way, Aaron Chino follows me. I'll follow that person back.
Okay. By the way, did I miss something about the back half and the change the MCU forever?
I'm not sure about that. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
A couple more tweets. Really, so far, not one negative.
I watched all
not
6
one negative, Alan.
Oh, I found a negative one, but we'll show that one later. I watched all 6 episodes of Ironheart, and it deserves your attention. It's better than most recent Marvel Studios theatrical releases and is one of the rare good MCU TV shows. Dominique Thorne is a star, peak production values, no idea what it's leading to, but I'd like more.
And it's a thread, so there's more here.
Oh, here we go. What's most interesting about Ironheart is that it gives the Marvel Cinematic Universe a young and complicated character who makes questionable decisions, balancing emotions with genius level intellect. Her future could be so interesting in comparison to Tony Stark / Iron Man. I will agree with the questionable decisions part.
Oh, here we go. There's more.
Oh yeah, here we go. One of the reasons Ironheart was delayed so long is that this needed to be great for Ryan Coogler to have his name the largest on the poster. Worth the wait. And when you watch, the timing works well with what's going on in the MCU and in real life. Oh my God.
All right.
One more thing I'll say about Ironheart is that it really embraces the comic book source material more than you'd expect. Sometimes the goofier elements of the action or certain character moments clash with the more serious and emotional beats.
Well, who is this Sir Savvy? Press X to doubt. We love a good corpo journalist for clickbait news sites.
Yeah.
I guess this guy writes for Game Rant and other things. And oh, that's Madam Savvy.
Yes, it is.
Sir Savvy. Why is she Sir Savvy?
Oh, I think it's the pronoun thing or whatever.
Well, I like Madam Savvy.
Yes.
I like her. No matter anything, to be honest. Yeah. I think we've got one more. Do we have one more?
Let's see. I have one.
Here's one right here. No, one last one. These are all positive. I mean, Madam Savvy may doubt it, but she hasn't seen it.
Okay, so from Maggie Lovett, what a great name. The first 3 episodes of Ironheart are out tomorrow, and your resident Marvel cynic is here to say it's quite good. It's a shame the series has been in flux because Disney Plus has something great on their hands. Dominique Thor is pure dynamite. Alden Ehrenreich is brilliantly cast.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And look, you can hit the hashtag. There are more. It's people commenting. All right. The
oh, here, I got to show you this one.
Share if you would, Alan, please.
Yeah, this one is from a critic on X. Let's see. Here we go. From Alan Ng at Film Threat. Ironheart social embargo lifted. How's this? Ironheart is a racist piece of shit. Join us on Hollywood on the Rocks.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that person is saying.
Go back. There were other tweets there.
No, it's just no. The other one says my prediction is F1 will do better than F4, and that it has been pointed out to me that Elio steals the ham radio from the black kid. That's worse, right?
Well, that was for Elio.
That was.
Yeah. So, all right, look. We're either late or early, but it's time to talk Ironheart. Alan, you and I have seen all 6 episodes. We've seen all 6.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take it little chunks at a time. We'll review episode 1 through 3 and then 4 through 6 in summary. There will be spoilers, so be forewarned. If you're watching this as a clip, you are going to get spoilers for the show. And we'll just go from there. We'll do a sum up. Alan, it's just you and I.
Yes.
We'll talk about it with others on Versus on Monday. But let's talk about what happens in Ironheart episode 1 through 3. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going over my notes because I'm trying to remember where
I've got a bunch of notes too because I've got people's names. And
I need to know the line between episode 3 and 4. That's all.
No, well, yes, I've got that line. Anyways,
okay,
let's get into it. Now just to be clear, I watched this all in one night from 5 p.m. until like almost 1 a.m. The episodes range in length from 40 minutes, the shortest episode, up to 57 minutes, the longest. It appears as if the way it was cut to me, this show was intended to be more episodes, maybe 9 or 10, and it was condensed. This is me speculating. No knowledge.
Yeah.
If that's true. But what we've got is a character that appeared in Wakanda Forever, that's Black Panther 2, that was introduced in that series, that now is at the beginning of the show in the first episode kicked out of school. Her grant was taken away and she leaves college stealing the Ironheart suit that she built.
By the way, you should point out why she was kicked out of school.
Yeah. Why was she, Alan?
She was selling papers to other students.
She was using AI, writing like term papers, selling those to other students who then passed it off as her own work. And that's how she made money for a good cause.
Yeah.
Create.
But MIT has rules against that. And they
also all universities and all schools have rules that you don't charge money to students to write their papers. Anyways, she's so smart she did that. She's so innovative to do that. So already kind of sus behavior.
Yeah. Okay, now you go back to stole the suit.
She stole the suit then. Someone should make a list. We should do this of all the crimes she commits during the course of the show. It's not a small number, to be clear. She is creating she's fraudulent with work at her college, steals the Ironheart suit, goes back to Chicago where she gets the attention of a guy named the Hood, who has a group of how would I describe a team, like an Ocean's 11 like team that pulls off heists.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later. Right. He has a
by the way, we should say she has a heart of gold, so she gets a pass. on everything.
Sure, it's okay to do all these things. If there's a redemption in the works, or she's aware that what she's doing is bad, she'll be on a redemption arc. But I can confirm that never happens in the show. He is not a likable character from the beginning, and we'll document more and more of the things she does where you're like, well, that's not what a hero would do. A hero would do those things if it was for a greater good, say to save a busload of kids or a kitten caught in a tree, or save, I don't know, stop someone from causing harm to others. But literally everything she does in this show is for selfish reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how Marvel, they superheroes, especially the more darker ones, they get their superpowers because of moral weakness. Bruce Banner is the great example, or even David Banner. They get their powers because they're trying to get something that they really shouldn't have. They're trying to go for some kind of power that they shouldn't have, and in a moment of moral weakness, they get that power and then learn the lessons that the power is not something that they really want, which Ironheart never learns, or that's never a theme in Ironheart.
Yeah. Well, in any case, she joins this group of, what would you describe them as?
Of highly athletic individuals.
Well, it includes Slug, played by Shea Coulee,
who's a hacker.
Queen, who's a hacker.
Yeah,
I don't know how
drag
she
race.
hacks.
Drag race.
How she hacks with such big fingernails. Anthony Ramos, who I actually like as an actor, he's decent. Plays Parker Robbins, also known as the Hood. He has a mysterious hood that gives him abilities. Let's just say that. Manny Montana plays John, who's kind of a heavy, kind of directing what they're doing. And there are other characters in their group, this Ocean's 11 type group, and he wants to recruit Riri and use her Ironheart suit in some of their criminal activity. Basically, they're convincing captains of industry to sign a paper giving them money, rights. It's not 100. We're not 100% clear why they're signing a document that they have to sign something over, and they're basically forced to sign the document.
Yeah.
And
it's a contract. It's written by lawyers.
For money, Riri Williams is like, okay, it's a job. This is a way for me to get money and get what I need, the materials I need to fix my suit. So she's returned home to Chicago and reunited with her family, her mother, and a friend of hers. She was best friends with this girl named Natalie, and Natalie was murdered in a drive-by shooting. And in the second episode, so the first episode
with Riri's stepfather.
Right. Yeah. And she was murdered. We don't know and we never really find out the exact, but it's a random shooting.
And Riri witnessed it.
Riri witnessed it, and it's traumatic. She has to deal with her trauma. She deals with her trauma. She then creates an AI using parts of her brain, literally, transferring it like to a drive.
Yeah, something.
Her memory of her friend Natalie, played by Lyric Ross, and then Natalie comes to life as the AI, essentially like the
it's Jarvis. It's like
Jarvis, yeah, Jarvis, but it's Natalie, and Natalie actually stands for something. I didn't write that down. So now she has to deal with the trauma of having to look at Natalie, her friend who died tragically, who can help her with her Ironheart suit. She then tracks down a guy named by the way, I should mention that there's some other weird cameos in this show that we'll get into it later, but it's it's weird. She meets a guy named Joe McGillicuddy, played by Alden Ehrenreich, who is sort of this soft beta white dude. And they have a conversation. Now, most of this doesn't necessarily deal with race, but there is a blatant thing right in one of the episodes with Joe. I think it was the third episode where they're driving. I watched them all back to back.
Yeah. By the way, it would be my privilege if you would talk about that.
And Riri, like they bond over an Alanis Morissette song that they sing together. And Riri makes a comment literally about his privilege in the car. Now, thankfully, most of the show, it would seem, would have a lot of opportunities for things like this. That is the most blatant one that happens in episode 3. But there's a big reveal in episode 3 that you need to know about. And please correct me if I'm wrong on some of this stuff. Since I watched it all in one night, it was a week ago. Some of it is a bit of a blur, but
I feel like the spoiler you're going to give me, because I'm trying to think what it was.
Oh, I know what it is.
And that's kind of how important the spoiler is.
I'm building up to it.
Okay.
What we learn is that that Joe McGillicuddy is not Joe McGillicuddy. They're in the kitchen. This is how it's revealed. They are in the kitchen, Joe McGillicuddy's kitchen, and he can help her with her Ironheart suit, get, equipment, and he can help her with it. He has things that she needs.
But
she knocks over a baggie of flour in the kitchen, but it's not. It's Obadiah Stane.
His ashes.
Who is that? You might remember.
This is why you need to watch. You need to watch the first Iron Man to understand the show.
Obadiah Stane, played by Jeff Bridges, is Ironmonger from the first Iron Man. And Joe McGillicuddy is a pseudonym. His real name is Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane. Basically mirroring Iron Man, who took on Obadiah Stane in the first Iron Man, and now Ironheart is pitted. Well, it gets murky. With Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah. Dun dun dun. That's episode 3. That's
why he's a beta, because he doesn't like what his dad did, but his dad's technology.
Yes, he is beta from the first episode, we know, because there's this white Karen that comes over and her dog poops on his lawn and she's out of the
and he can't talk
and he can't say anything. He backs down from the woman the white lady whose dog pooped on his lawn. He's in fear of upsetting her. He kind of backs off. That's your and each episode is sort of sets up one like a heist or a task that must be accomplished. Alan, I know I'm glossing over it. What other details would you add for episode 1 through 3?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing. Okay, so there are a couple things. The biggest thing is the fact that she can never do anything with honesty or integrity. She always has to steal something. And it's weird, but it's like Elio. It's because she has the heart of gold. She can get away with it, or at least that's what they're trying to pass off to us as an audience. That because the reality is, where does a black person? Where's a poor person, someone who doesn't have a lot of money, who's going back to her now single mother? Where does she find all the tech and all the equipment without paying for it? And I think that's part of episode 3 is that she takes it from Obadiah Stane. But even up to that point, It's weird like that. I think also that she was more likely to steal from a white person than from a black kid. Which kind of, having said that, it's not as, I would say, I was expecting the show to be a lot more woke than it actually was. I think the conversation with Ezekiel is probably the worst it ever gets.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of like, no, it's just, it's like watching Family Matters. It's just set in an urban location, and it's like that. Look, I really have an issue with the AI. And this is more
Natalie is the AI.
Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let me, before I get to that, let's talk about, the Hood, his goal is to take over major industry. He does that by breaking into millionaire homes, confronting the millionaire, and then having him sign a contract, signing over ownership and voting rights to the Hood. And look, this is where the show starts to really fall apart, in the sense that these writers don't know anything about anything. For example, I gave up on She-Hulk when I realized that She-Hulk was a bad lawyer. When it comes to this, the idea that you break into a millionaire's home and then you have him sign a contract. Well, if you know anything about contract laws, contracts made under duress, like at gunpoint, can be nullified very easily once you prove that you signed it under duress. So that these so-called quote unquote contracts are actually null and void the moment it's signed, because it's not a good faith exchange between two parties. But who cares? I mean, he got the contract signed. This is where Marvel has come through. This is where Disney has come through, where they don't really think about the implications of the stories they tell. Elio steals a ham radio from a black kid, and then pushes him off to the side, and then later gets bullied for it. But we feel sympathy for him because he's little Elio, not because he's a thief. And this is the same thing here. We will forgive everything Riri Williams does. That most of the rest of us, most of the rest of the nation, would try to get legitimately, like getting a summer job or something like that. But we will forgive her because she has a heart of gold. And then you have this contract that just, to me, it was like, this contract is just not valid. And yet the entire series, the entire motivation of the Hood is based on these contracts. And then lastly, let me get into Natalie, the AI.
Yeah.
So Natalie is based on her dead best friend. You see clips of the two of them together in the beginning. My issue with that is a much more philosophical issue. But, to me, it's dangerous to create versions of your dead loved ones that you can interact with today in AI. And I'll give you this reason why. Because all your memories you have of someone who's passed are those memories that you have being together with the real live person. And so when they pass, what we do when we grieve is we think about what our relationship to that person was, the good times, the bad times we had, what that person means to you. What happens is when you create that person and turn it into an AI, you basically begin to lose the memory of the original person, because soon that AI, that avatar, that robot is going to take over your memory of that person. And now the memory you have of the person you love so dearly is now lost and forgotten and replaced by an AI that may be close, but is not that person. And that's, to me, is the most dangerous thing about this. And when we get into episode 4 through 6, this idea is challenged, and we could talk about it then. But it again, what Ironheart is to me is indicative of the fact that Hollywood can't tell stories anymore. Because that thing I told you about AI, that's something you should wrestle with. That should be an entire episode of, is Natalie right to make? And I think there have been other shows. Star Trek is certainly one of those shows that has gone through and wrestled with that issue, because it's not something you take lightly. It's not something you do just for a narrative reason. Oh, hey, we got this cool character. It's an AI that's the personification of Riri's dead best friend. that to me, that's not something you just flippantly make. And we'll get into it in episodes 4 through 6. Yeah, I have more to say. I think if we probably want to, if you have more to say it, and then
Yeah,
we can do Alan's corner after that, and then go.
Yeah, and then we'll do comments. But let me just say real quick, I'm all for a flawed protagonist, a flawed hero, if they have a redemption arc, or if in their heart there are lines they won't cross. But it seems that everything she is doing is only for herself. She only thinks about what she needs, and it's all about, I've got to get this suit, and I got to get money, and I can't get money the right way because college failed me. She has no like thought about what she did in school or the reasons she was kicked out. And then she stole the Ironheart suit and flew it to Chicago to then be recruited by this gang. You see that scene where she goes up in the elevator and figures out there's a bomb, not quite bomb, but then she survives, and that's her test to join their gang. And then they're going to pull off these heists and get money. So she's now part of this criminal organization.
Get contract signed.
Yeah, to get contract signs. I mean, does she understand what she's involving herself in? I mean, it could land her in jail for doing those things. No thought of any of that.
Yeah.
So that's what the thing is. I want to be, even if the hero is flawed, I want to be with them. I want to understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's not enough just to get money to build the suit so then you can do more of these crimes and heists.
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. Riri is challenged by her friends and family about what she's doing, but it's more about the person she's following than the action she's taking.
Right.
And there's a big difference there. Is no matter who you follow, you shouldn't be breaking the law. But in this case, it's okay. Just worry about the guy in charge.
Well, it's not like, she saved someone and then she wrecked a car or did property damage, but in the course of doing that, did good, right? That's, I mean, heroes, we know, they can screw things up. I mean, they did a movie about that, Civil War, right? You gotta kind of, you gotta watch out the damage you do.
Yeah.
But in this, you just don't see it. So, okay. Let's go to comments.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew Cram member for 17 months. I hope Superman is decent. I'm excited for the latest film, even it's not good. Thanks for the authentic content, Chris and Alan.
And thank you for 17 months of support.
Yes. And your generosity.
Amazing. You're very generous.
Rudy for 2. Is Ironheart suit made from catalytic converters?
Not real. I mean, sorry. Now I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Rudy. That's very clever.
Yeah, please answer it, Chris. Lucky Ocho, member for 4 months. F1 was amazing thrill ride.
I loved it. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. The Grateful Gamer, member for 4 months. New Chun-Li movie will flop. Doesn't have thighs. And she's Asian though, right?
I don't know.
If she is, then that solves your thigh problem. Andrew Cram for $49.99.
Thank you. Very generous. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for covering Ironheart. That I will never watch, but I enjoy your coverage.
Okay. Thank you. Dang.
Defending Truth for 2. Her committing crime seems 100% authentic to me. Yeah, I'm just saying the stories we tell. That's the issue.
No comment there.
All right, Jackson Cagle for 2. Hail Film Threat and chat. Hell, chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, look, found it. Hold on, sorry. Keep that up there. But Grace Randolph says she's not going to review Ironheart.
Whoa!
She's been doing that. She's been not reviewing lightning rod movies. We got that one. Hail Film Threat and chat.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, here we go. Matthew Hammond for 2 over on Rumble. I can only not watch MCU content so much. When do these terrible shows and movies stop being made? No, they're going to keep coming. Don't forget Wonder Man is down the road. Joe Chapman, does she save a cat?
No such moment.
Yeah. 80 Alice 24. I prefer my MCU heroes going from war criminals to saving the universe than petty theft to unchecked narcissism.
Unchecked narcissism is part of it.
Yeah. Red pilled rants. She has a heart of iron, Alan. Yeah.
Yes. And now I have a question for our audience. Should we save our review of episode 4 through 6 for tomorrow, or should we do it right now? We can, and then we'll do a show tomorrow. We'll cover Ironheart and other news, the new FF trailer, but we'll save Ironheart episode 4 through 6 for tomorrow. What do you think? What does the chat say?
What does the chat say? Okay. Do you want to do Alan's Corner?
Let's do Alan's Corner first.
Yes.
Alan, I've known you a long time.
Yes.
And there are moments when you have a lot to say. And in those moments, we call those Alan's Corner.
Well, Chris, before I start my Alan's Corner, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What was your impression of the Asian character in Ironheart?
Which one are you talking about?
There wasn't one, motherfucker. There's not a single Asian in this movie. Not even, there are no slanty-eyed Asians. There's not even a Indian brown-skinned Asian in this movie. There's not a single goddamn Asian in this television show. Which brings me to the fact that, again, I'll say it over and over and over again. Diversity means black. Diversity doesn't mean anything else. And for this show to proclaim that it's diverse, that it upholds DEI values, you would think there'd be at least one Asian, maybe even in the background. But no, not here. Look, throughout, here, we got to make this bigger. Throughout the series of Ironheart, Riri always talks about feeling small. Well, Riri Williams, let me tell you this. You don't know small when you're non-existent. Because again, there are no Asians in this show. Look, don't get me wrong. I don't care that there are no Asians in this show. In fact, I think if anything, it's the smartest thing Asians can do is not be in this show because it's so bad. But it's not the fact that they're not there that gets me. It's the hypocrisy of it. It's this idea that, oh, we're diverse. We're not white. There are white people in the show. White adjacent. Well, at least you got white people in the show. There's still no Asians in this show.
Wait, so there's no Chinese?
No Chinese, no Korean, no Filipino, no nothing.
There's
Japanese. Not a single one. Oh, and by the way, you could maybe I missed it. Maybe you're gonna watch all 6 episodes and say, hey, what about that guy in the background doing the laundry? Great, I missed it. Which shows you how important Asians are to this show. How for Black creators who want to create diversity, who want to be seen, decide to eliminate an entire race of people from their television show. To me, again, it's the hypocrisy that gets me. It's not the fact that it was done. If I hear that when Ryan Coogler went on and said, hey, can you be in my show? And they all said, your show sucks, I don't want to be in it. Okay, I'll retract everything I say here. But I don't think that's what happened. Look, I will tell you this. Was there a place to put an Asian? Yes, there was. There was a prime role that should have gone to an Asian. Not for the fact that if you're going to have a girl who is great at STEM, who has a scientific brain, how is that girl not Asian? But that's a whole other issue. But there is a place where you could have put an Asian character. And that is, and this is in episodes 4 through 6. It is the magic teenager. It is the teenager that Riri goes to learn magic. That role right there could have easily gone to an Asian. You could have gone into the laundromat or the dry cleaners, go into the back, and then there's all the ceremonial stuff, and then the girl you find out not only is she smart, but she's into magic, and not only that, this would solve a problem Marvel has carried with them for a long time, and it was back when Doctor Strange came out, and they replaced the Ancient One with what's her name, with Tilda Swinton. So they made the Ancient One Asian or white instead of Asian. And there are reasons for that. I don't blame Marvel for that one, because the Ancient One is a Tibetan monk, and there's no way China was going to let Doctor Strange play in China if it starred a Tibetan monk as its hero. So here's your chance to have corrected that. And you could have taken that one character, made her Asian, made her best friends with Riri, and now you have the diverse cast that you've always wanted. But no, you decide to take an entire race of people and not include it in your damn television show.
Well, all you get, Alan, is Shang-Chi. That's what you get. You get that movie.
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah, well, at least they got that right. But okay, so there we go. That's why Ironheart is a racist piece of shit. I mean, the TV series is not the character.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that was a good way to end it.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
I like your commentary, Alan. Let's see.
Yeah, this is kind of where I think I just turned on the show, when it's just the realization of there's this. I haven't seen a single Asian in the show yet, and then to find out at the end, no one shows up. The cavalry never comes. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for being.
Let's go to comments.
All right, Eric for 199. Secret Asian Man. Yeah, you're right. It's probably in the background. Secret Asian Man's in the background. Secret and all. JWH6577 member for 21 months. Never beating the blacks don't like Asian stereotype. Yeah, I wasn't even gonna. I was hoping Dante and DA would be here, but yeah, I could go into that. ADLS24, no Asians equals diversity, Disney.
True.
Red Pill Rants, she could have at least ordered Chinese takeout, for God's sake. Yeah. Could have been delivered by an Asian man. Mr. D-Man21, they couldn't find any Asians in Chicago. There's a ton right down the block.
Yep.
You know, at least Sinners had an Asian couple in it.
Sinners did.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. By request of the audience, we are going to talk about Ironheart episode 4 through 6. We'll give you the highlights. We will be doing spoilers, and we'll tell you about the ending of the show.
Is that the poster?
The ending of the show, it's one of the posters. The ending of the show will be one of the most controversial endings for a Marvel Disney Plus series to date. And I'll tell you up front, and I'll get into details. It ends on a cliffhanger. It literally ends on a cliffhanger, and it will be a show and a cliffhanger that will never be resolved. Marvel is piling up all these things that happen in shows and their movies that there is no conclusion in sight. And we'll get to that, but let's start off with the events that lead us to that conclusion, which is the untimely death of John, part of the Hood's crew. John has an untimely death that involves Riri and Ironheart. It's an accidental death that she's kind of somewhat responsible for. When that is revealed, then the Hood sends his crew off to kill Riri.
Hold on, we gotta clarify that.
Okay, yeah, please.
Yes, she is responsible for his death in the sense that she could have saved him.
That's correct.
But chose not to.
Exactly. And so then the Hood sends his crew off, including Slug, to get Riri, who's at a White Castle. Now,
Ironically.
We introduce another side of the show. That's the big arc in the last 3 episodes. The leading up to this, he visits a magic shop. Somehow magic is involved.
Yeah. Okay.
She
So
meets-
she is finding that she can't beat the Hood on her own, and that she needs a bit extra, and that's the magic.
and she gets a piece of his hood to examine, takes it to a shop that sells magic and coffee and sweets.
Yeah.
In any case, she meets a character named Zelma. That's Zelma with a Z, who's effectively the black version of Velma. I'm not making this up, and is accurate from the comics.
It could have been
character.
Asian. It could have been Asian.
Could have been Asian. She's a black girl with big horn rimmed glasses and a goofy hat, and she's Zelma, and she knows magic, and she can go to other realms and do all this crazy magic that's like Doctor Strange, and she schools Riri on what this could be and how she's in danger.
By the way,
Then-
let's remember that this is a piece of his cape that she was able to cut off, but is indestructible at the same time.
Yes, and he didn't know she was doing it while she was doing. He didn't know. The Hood didn't know it was happening when it was happening. It's kind of not really believable.
But remember, it's indestructible. So
Right, exactly. So, now after the events where John is dispensed with, they try to kill her in a White Castle.
ironically, yes.
Ironic, yes, a White Castle. Odd, which ends up with a huge fight in the restaurant, in which she's nearly killed. And I'll take it from there, Alan. It gets dumb. I really want to talk about the last
I mean,
episode.
if you know anything about comic books, she doesn't get killed. But lo and behold, Joe or Zeke Stain, he is in cahoots now with the Hood, and not only that, he has been transformed into a kind of a indestructible creature.
Yeah, Slug uses some technology to upgrade Ezekiel Stain into a powered. He has powers now. Unbeknownst to him, unfortunately, the Hood can control him.
Right.
So controls his every move.
Right.
So it's
And
a
so
deal.
they
It's a
fight.
deal. It's a deal he makes
Right.
with the Hood that
He made a deal
goes
with the
back.
devil. Yes.
Effectively.
Yeah. And so he is able to actually defeat Riri as Ironheart, destroys her suit of armor. And just at the moment where he's about to kill her, he lets her go. Because why? He's still got a heart. And so, but he says, go away, don't ever come back, or there'll be trouble for both of them. And then he goes off and tells Hood that he killed Riri.
Then we get to and then each of the members of the crew kind of meet their end, not necessarily death.
Well, defeated.
They're defeated. My favorite is Slug. There's a shot where Slug's in a truck and the truck flips over, and the look on Slug's face. Whoa! Slug is the comic relief. And I gotta be honest, there's a lot of things to dislike about this show, but I'm like a goofy, funny drag queen. I don't know if she's trans or just a drag queen.
Yeah, she's a drag queen, definitely. That's how she's billed.
Yeah, so it's so dumb. It's like, all right, I'll take that over the conflict with Natalie or Zeke Stain or all this other stuff that I don't care about. Literally, it's hard for me to even remember a lot of this because I saw it a week ago and I saw it all in one night, and it's difficult to remember it when you don't care about it.
Yeah.
But the thing I remember the most is how selfish Riri is and how unlikable her character is. And defeating the members of this crew is not redemption for the crimes she committed, including allowing John to die, among other things. It's not really heroic behavior. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, but the thing is, she's iconic, And why do we know that?
She says so.
She said so.
She says so. So, okay. Final episode is the shortest episode, which basically ends with we meet Mephisto. We finally meet Mephisto, played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Mhm.
And all it is a scene in a restaurant where he's sitting having a conversation
With Riri. Yeah.
and I gotta be honest, he's great. He's not in the Mephisto like devil horns. That'd be too on the nose. Wish Sacha Baron
Giving
Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen Mephisto horns.
You mean a Jewish actor with devil horns?
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be bad. He's not that. He's in maybe a different form, whatever.
Well,
But
Sacha Baron Cohen, yeah.
but he's really good. He has gravitas. He's intense. And what it comes down to, the final episode comes down to a choice where Riri can save her friend Natalie. And if he signs this document effectively, he
You
has
mean
to-
Natalie, the AI best friend?
Yeah,
Who's
she
not
can
really Natalie, the
Yes.
person she.
But she
Okay.
can save the real Natalie if she signs effectively
No, no.
over.
She can
You know-
save the AI Natalie, not the real Natalie.
Yes,
the,
yes,
the
yes.
AI
You
Natalie.
can save the AI Natalie, her friend, if she signs this. And I will say, Sacha Baron Cohen, he is the only highlight in this whole
The only
show.
legit actor. in
He
the
is
whole-
a legit actor. I mean, Anthony Ramos is okay as the Hood, right? Slug is goofy and whatever. I mean, it's the whole thing is bad. And Riri Williams is the worst written character in the show. Slug gets better lines. The Hood gets better lines. And Sacha Baron Cohen in that final episode, he's very good. It's literally a scene at a restaurant at a table with them talking. It's really intense. What happens? I know you want to know what happens. Tell everyone what happens, Helen.
Oh, it goes to black, and we wait for season 2 to find out.
No, she agrees.
Well, implicit.
And then it goes to black.
Yeah, there's nothing implicit, but I should mention that they meet at a diner. It could have been a Chinese restaurant.
It could have been a Chinese restaurant
chose not
with
to.
Chinese wait staff.
Yeah, they had their chances. I should also mention that the Hood finally wins. How? He gets his dad to sign a contract.
It's also like when you say it out loud, it's so, and there are obviously details I forgot, but nothing about this stayed with me except Sacha Baron Cohen in that final episode,
Yeah.
where she's basically making a deal with the devil, and then it cuts to black. It ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it cuts to kind of the ramifications of the deal for a second,
Right.
and then it goes to black. Look, I don't want to oversell the Sacha Baron Cohen thing. I'll put it this way, he's very good. And
Yeah.
look, if
In a
you're an
show
actor,
in a
if you're
show
an
of garbage,
yeah, if you're an upcoming actor, yeah, you want to act against a great an exceptional actor. I don't know that I would call him great, but look, if someone said, "Hey, can you do this scene with Michael Caine?" Well, yeah. I mean, I don't care what that scene is. I'm gonna get a chance to act against a great actor, and that's kind of that moment that you see there.
yeah. So best thing about the whole series, Sacha Baron Cohen, and he's in 10 minutes of the show in the final episode. He's a big standout, and the show ends on a cut to black cliffhanger with making a deal with the devil. Effectively.
Yeah.
Will we ever see the conclusion of Riri's story? I don't know. And if
We want
Marvel
to
is
see. So we want to see the conclusion.
I mean, I almost feel like they ended it that way on purpose to get a
Oh.
season 2.
to force a season 2.
Why would they not do reshoots and wrap it up? Or even she doesn't ever in the show get to a place where you could confidently call her a hero. There's nothing in the show where you could say He has now become like Tony Stark goes through redemption in the first movie, has his, and then you see by the end he's become the hero, right? It's not an origin per se, but he doesn't become who she is, who they intend her to be in the show. This is also like terrible for little kids. I feel like this show is mostly for kids. Do you get that feeling too, Alan?
I think it's the kind of that preteen YA vibe.
Yes, but it really feels like, and I actually get the idea. I actually kind of think kids would like this show, but it has horrible messages.
Yeah,
horrible messages for kids. Just do crime to make money. If it's for a good cause, which is make my Iron Man suit for me. Like, how is that? And it's because, see, the only thing that separates Riri from Tony Stark, this is the other thing that bothered me. The only thing that separates Riri from Tony Stark is he's a billionaire and she's not. And she's resentful of him for that.
But weirdly enough, she has the same amount of resources that Tony Stark has. Because there are two instances where she's rebuilding her suit. Where's she getting all that equipment? And not only that, she has a day to do it. And how does one person literally build from scratch an Iron Man suit with all the optical displays and all the utility to it, all the moving parts? Where does she get those parts? We know where she gets at least the exterior of her suit from, but where does she get all the servers? I don't know what it's made of, but all the nanotechnology, is that just lying around? Can you buy that at Aldi or at Home Depot?
I mean, look, the thing is, I don't even care about the unanswered questions this show brings up, because this is, in the words of someone who works at Marvel, the worst thing Marvel has ever produced. And it's very sad because I feel like everyone involved deserves better. I mean, we've seen what, Ryan Coogler can do when he's not, working for Marvel. He can do better. Sinners, when he's, just not working for Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
I mean, you really do just get the sense that Ryan Coogler just put his name on it to give it some credibility. Like Robert Downey Jr., stomping in and saying, "Hey, it's Ironheart Day." They needed him just for credibility. They didn't need him to actually have any influence on the show at all.
I guarantee once all the episodes have aired, we're not going to be talking about this. This will not be like Acolyte. It's not going to drag on for weeks. It has the potential to damage Fantastic Four, which opens, in a month. We're a month away from Fantastic Four, and they're not going to let this. I mean, what does it do? It further diminishes the brand of Marvel. It's a poorly written character, and people will call us racist, maybe, for pointing out it's not a well-written character. I want to like Riri. She's given me no reason to. And the thing she does, she has no redemption for the bad things she does.
Yeah, I think it's ironic that people who made this, or people who love this racist show, is going to call us racist.
Yeah, well, true, but
at least me.
What's weird is I only recently, because I am behind the times on almost everything, if there's a trend and it's on TikTok, I'm the last to know about it. But I saw a trend called Black Fatigue, and it is people that are kind of just tired of Black people doing bad behavior in public and other Black people not calling them out, whatnot. And I think this is getting caught up in that. Now, I'll give you an example. There's a movie we reviewed last week called 40 Acres.
Yeah.
It's actually a decent thriller action movie. Terrible title, but I guarantee the movie will bomb because of the way it's being promoted and the title. And it kind of sucks because when something new is out there that maybe certain audiences might not check out, I feel like that quote Black Fatigue that I've seen this trend and videos. I feel that will turn people off when something good comes along. You know, I mean, this isn't that, but and you can look up this. You know, I don't want to get into a huge discussion. I don't want to sidetrack on that.
Yeah,
But I feel like it has the potential to damage things that could be good. Then this not being good is just another thing that will make people go, I don't want to watch another series that features a cast of no Asians.
Right. Well, I mean, that's how I felt about a lot of Asian television shows here in U.S. Asian television shows, because they're all bad. And I'm like, damn, it's like we finally get our shot and it's just bad and it's awful. And this idea that Black culture hasn't had popular television or movies
is ridiculous.
Is baffling to me.
It's ridiculous. I grew up watching everything from Sanford and Son to
What's Happening.
What's Happening was one of my favorites. I watched every day after school because Raj was nerdy and wore glasses like me. I was a kid that read comic books and had newspaper routes, and I worked really hard, and I was raised by a single mom, and Raj was raised by a single mom. He had goofy friends like Rerun, who was like the comic relief of the show, but every episode of What's Happening was a morality tale. It was there was a moral choice. The characters had to deal with moral issues.
Yeah.
And
Let's be real, it wasn't
no
Star Trek.
moral issues in this. And when you look at Black television back in that day, there were great storytelling. And I don't remember. They probably had some white side characters.
Yeah.
I don't
But the
remember
thing
any
was,
of them. But
those shows
I love that show.
those shows uplifted Black culture. I can't maybe I'm jaded, but I can't think of a time where Ironheart uplifted Black culture other than played the music, showed us the the artwork on the walls.
And in the words of Dante from Verbal Riot and DA Derek Anderson, the DA, said that this show is like a bad BET show. Like a BET made a superhero show, this is what it would be. What I question and why this is not only a bad show, it's a bad example to kids. This is a Disney Plus show for kids where a young Black woman is justified in crimes and doing awful behavior and bad things and stealing.
Well, that's
not a good example for young kids.
It's the old ends justifies the means. And I think, you see that on television, even where unspeakable things are being done in LA and people get away with it. And it's applauded. Also, I want to comment in the chat. First season of Fresh Off the Boat was good. The rest of it was garbage. And I'm talking about Asian American shows and TV. Yes, the K-dramas and all the Chinese stuff is great, but that was made overseas. I'm talking about stuff that is definitely Asian American.
Your final thoughts, Alan. We got to go to comments.
Yeah. And then I got to leave soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, let's be real. This is on par for Marvel. Nothing we've said should surprise you. Nothing we said, the fact that they got the storytelling elements all wrong shouldn't surprise you. And the fact that I think what Marvel thinks is that if they just, what do you guys call it? Tech porn. If you just show us cool tech stuff, that's just enough. And then you just throw a story behind it. And sure, why not? Let's make something for Black History Month a few months late. So again, we're not saying or anything that is going to surprise you. It's bad. It is echo levels bad. And it's sad because when you're given an opportunity to take your culture and put it into a Marvel show, this is a missed opportunity, and it could have been so much better.
I'll end on this. You're not a hero because of your identity. You're a hero because of your deeds and your values and what you stand for. And what we see in Riri is not a hero. And that's why this show is a failure and a bad example and something I would not show my kids.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's go to comments and we'll wrap up.
Yeah. Dark Hero fan, member for 16 months. Thank you. Does she identify as a Stark at the end? Yeah, is she Riri?
No,
Stark
she says
at
at the end of the show, this is real. She says, my name is Riri Skywalker.
Okay. Drake Timbershaft for 5. I miss John as much as I miss Wade from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Poor Wade. Hashtag you're not forgot. Geek True 64 member for 26 months. It requires someone to care to be controversial.
Thanks, Geek Truth. Love seeing you in the chat.
By the way, I can't wait to see all the Ironheart cosplay at Comic-Con this year, along with the maze and the ocean.
There'll be Zero along with the
maze and
May
the
and
ocean.
OSHA. Yeah,
I have
they'll be
yet
done.
to see a May and OSHA.
I have never seen a May or OSHA in the wild.
Keemer and Saul. You see,
I saw Keemer.
Yeah. Defending Truth for 2. Being responsible for a death is also 100% authentic.
Yep.
Drake Timbershaft again for 5. Mephisto was in the Infinity Gauntlet series in the 90s. Riddle me why he was in this instead of Infinity War and Endgame. I guess there's a magic element to Ironheart, which I never read.
Yeah. We have a few non-super chat comments that I think are worth reading.
Okay.
We'll read those.
From David P. So she refuses to be heroic to save someone. Why am I not shocked? No,
Yeah.
Part of it was he was the bad guy, and part of it was it would have revealed her motivation, her intentions for that mission, which, okay. So someone had to die for it. G-Man, Black Girl Magic. Black Girl Magic! The legendary hero. Where the F it was Zelma when during Thanos invasion.
Come on, Zelma.
I know.
Fuck.
Andy makes Star Wars. The biggest question of all, will you remember any of this in a month?
We will not be talking about this in 2 weeks. All conversation will end. This is not going to be I don't even think videos about Ironheart will do particularly well. I think it's very forgettable.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, did you know that Marvel made a TV show called Secret Invasion?
I forgot it all about it, and I don't think I watched it.
I watched it all. 3144696.
Get a name. Get a real name.
Alan's complaining reminds me of the little people who were upset about the lack of representation in Snow White. Yeah, because it should have been there. If you're gonna make a diverse show, it better be diverse. J for 2, will you work her in your second season of Acolyte?
If there's an Ironheart figure, there will be in season 2 of Acolyte, when we make it, which is going to be coming, she'll be in it. We'll work her in per your request.
All right.
Cool. And that's it. That's thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth and MK Solid. I want to end on a treat, Alan.
Yes.
I want to end on a treat because people say that that we're too negative, right?
Yeah, we hate everything.
That we're too negative. So I'm not gonna completely do that. I say end on a positive. So let's go. It's time. Since you had an Alan's Corner, here's a Gore rant.
A freaking IKEA chair.
Hey, there's always something good to watch. There are countless streaming services. There is Troma Now. There's Full Moon Entertainment. Full Moon has an app. There are so many apps out there. I think there's even an app called Lesbian Flicks with all streaming, all lesbians all the time. I don't know if it's quite what you think, but there you go. I'm just saying, sure, Alan and I did not like Ironheart. I don't think we'll ever see a conclusion to it, but there's always something good to watch. And I am going to give you an example of something that I plan to watch today. I saw the trailer to this a while ago. I put a calendar notification that when this shows up on Netflix, I am watching this tonight. I will have a good night because I will have seen this show something that surpasses, even though I haven't seen it yet, I am certain that this show is better than Ironheart. Let's watch the trailer. Here it is. It's called Trainwreck Poop Cruise. And Ironheart is here on June 24th. And not a lot of people know this, but now that you do, if you're watching, Poop Cruise is on Netflix. This poop show, I predict, will get much better reviews than Ironheart.
It better get more views than Ironheart.
And I will review it on Friday's show. I will review Poop Cruise along with F2 and Megan 2.0, but F1, yes. But Poop Cruise, a bonus review this week, because, you know, we just can't, no matter what we do, we just can't,
Yeah, we hate everything.
We don't hate everything, because I'm certain that I will have a good time watching Poop Cruise. And let's have a good time on Friday. I will review Poop Cruise. No need to super chat. No need for a poll. You've convinced me. The trailer convinced me. And I want some kind of redemption. After having to sit through Ironheart, I will see the Poop Cruise movie and I will give my honest review on Friday.
Yeah. I'm too old for this shit. I will make this prediction. Poop Cruise may not be number 1 on Netflix, but it'll be number 2.
Count on it. And final here from Knee Pain, member for 11 months. Damn it, I stepped away and missed a live rant. Back it up like 5 minutes. Knee Pain, we appreciate you. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow for a show. I don't know if it'll be a long or normal long show, but we will do Hollywood on the Rocks tomorrow, 2 in 1 week. We're back on Friday with F1, Megan 2.0, and Poop Cruise. And I want to thank.
We need some of you actually to bite the bullet and watch Ironheart and confirm everything we said.
Yes. We'll talk more about Ironheart, definitely. And we'll talk it on Versus. I want to thank Atomic Lori. She's amazing. Just really making us look good. And we appreciate her. And Glenn Nuccio worked tirelessly on one of our first edited videos. Is going up at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. My binge watch of Ironheart as it happened. I'm eating pizza. It doesn't end well, but you'll see that premieres later tonight on this channel. Let me know what you think. If you like it, we will do more edited videos. We'll do edited. What's that?
Please like it.
So let me know what you like. Post in the comments. Is that something we should do? Let us know. We don't do edited videos. We mainly do clips, but I want to hear what you think. Let us know. And Friday we'll be here with Poop Cruise, among other things. So that's it. Alan, appreciate you. See you on Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, see you tomorrow and Friday. And everyone who sent us super chat, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And everyone who chatted, I love our audience. So, all right, Alan,
let's get out of here.